And Stephen was such a big pioneer. I remember hearing a story when I was prepping with him one day about him being the first restaurant in the state of Texas that used red bell peppers. And he had to order them special from California that came in. I mean, because it was just not a thing. It was a specialty thing. And so to have watched the evolution of food go from, this steak and potatoes in this town to learning molecular gastronomy behind the ceviche bar with Stephen is something that was pretty cool to see. Some of my favorite restaurants, I'm kind of basic, I'll be honest with you. So I hate when I'm asked that because I always get disappointing answers, but good barbecue. I love Pecan Lodge. I know that it's a tourist trap at this point, but they make some damn good food. And so I like going there. 20 Feet Seafood Joint it was over off of Peavy Road, Far East Dallas. That's something that I think was my favorite restaurant in all of Dallas. No frills, bring your own, really good quality food. The crew came from Stephen Piles, so I knew, through that fraternity. They didn't make it through COVID, but I am hoping to see them come back up, maybe even in District 7. So we'll keep our fingers crossed there. But in addition to that, I like Ojeda's is one of my all-time favorite Mexican restaurants, something that I went to my whole life. We have one in DeSoto as well. And then I like Meso Maya. I think good margarita. I love the avocado margarita at Meso Maya. And they also have a really good chicken mole for such a kind of mainstream spot. So, but I'm kind of mainstream whenever I go out, which is, I could be better about that.
Okay. I think we're pretty close because I think, Ryan, like my first lunch that I had with the team was at Ojeda's. I mean, that's like one of our spots.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
The armadillo eggs.
Yeah. I love it. No, my mom's actually picking up, we do tamales every year for Christmas Eve, and she's picking up our rice and beans from Ojeda's.
Well, Chairman, it's been great. Thank you so much for your time. If our listeners want to follow you, can you let us know what will be the best way to do that, either on social media or website or whatever it's easiest for them? Yeah,
at Twitter, you can find me, Adam. It's at Adam Bazaldua, and that's AdamBazaldua. That is about the. You could probably find me on every other platform with that, just searching that same. On Facebook, if you go to facebook.com/Bazaldua, the number 4 Dallas, you will find it there as well. So thank you all so much for having me. And thanks for bringing up some really important issues with STRs.
Yeah, you bet. We're certainly appreciate you and look forward to continuing to see you work on the issue and following you and your colleagues in 2022. So
Yes,
this
sir.
Deconstructing Dallas, Ryan Trimble, Shawn Williams. We'll be right back.
Deconstructing Dallas. We are back. Shawn Williams, Ryan Trimble. Ryan, another great conversation with Chairman Adam Bazaldua.
Man, I certainly appreciate that guy. He was working till the wee hours of the workday on Friday on the third of 5 STR task forces. So he certainly deserves some time off this Christmas before things start back up in January.
Yeah, and I like that, because for those of us who follow on Twitter, you look at he and the mayor and how they went back and forth sometimes on Twitter during his first term. But now, you do see them working together, get to see them out being very friendly. It's really cool. And, I'm glad he even shared that story with us. It's really cool.
Yeah, it was great. And so big thanks to Chair Bazaldua.
So
okay,
let's, this is our last recording of the year. And so I definitely wanted to maybe hit some of the highlights of the year on the show, as well as maybe some of the highlights for the year with our jobs at Alameda.
Well, working with you is always a highlight, colleague. So thank you for your diligence, your great ear for music on this podcast. I really just show up. You do all the work.
Well, we have had some able folks helping us, Samantha Matthews in the first part of the year, Samaji Best in the second part of the year. And so, we are unable to do it without the steady hand of Ryan Trimble on the rudder of the ship. Is the rudder the right word?
I feel honored.
I'm not a ship guy, so I feel
really like a sea captain now. This is great.
That's how I feel. I feel like you're captaining this thing, and taking it off and helping it land every week or other week, I guess I'd say. So it's been great. We've had some really great shows, and over the last few weeks, we've had some of my favorite. And I have to say, Nadine Lee was a really, really good insight from somebody new to town who has a lot of great experience. Also, someone new to town that we had on, Chief Eddie Garcia, was also a really great guest this year.
Yeah, Chief Garcia was great. I of course, loved having former Speaker Joe Strauss on. I thought that was just a great interview. Really appreciated him. I think it's fun that we're ending the year with the guy leading the short-term rental charge. I think we started off the year with our friend Luis Briones from Airbnb. So a nice bookend there, Shawn.
Luis was definitely a great show that we had. I think we talked to Dale Long, who survived the 16th Street bombing in Birmingham, which was, another great guest, and Jerry Hawkins talking about the history of Dallas, the past and present of Dallas. Another great conversation we had. So I think, we've got some ideas. We had some names on the list for this year, and we really, the last half of the year, we really started hitting our stride. We really started ticking off some of the names on that list. So I'm really excited about where we're headed in 2022.
2022, heading into year 5?
Yeah, that'll be the 5th year of Deconstructing Dallas. Who could imagine that we'd still be on the air?
Who could imagine our mothers would still be tuning in? I mean, this is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I really thought, this is no joke, after the second year or so, I thought that the powers that be at Allen Media were going to say, okay, this is a great experience. Now get back to work.
But instead, we're lining up the trophy cases full of new and interesting trophies. Again, congratulations to you, Shawn, and to us and to all of us for the many, many awards we have loaded up because of this, our work here on the podcast. And to our listeners, thank you. You are a part of this just as much as we are. Man, we got some cool trophies, though.
We've got some great trophies. I mean, first off, it's just enough for us patting each other on the back. I think that is enough to get us from show to show anyway. But, it's great to win some awards for this podcast. Our company's won awards across the board for video, for PR. You and I were also recently recognized for some of our work, along with our colleagues on the work we did in West Dallas for Megatel. We won an award from PRSA Dallas, which was really cool. Really cool award, too, that I have not tweeted yet, I don't think, but I think I will pretty soon. But really cool award for that work. Probably, and that was at the beginning of this year. And one of my favorite projects that I worked on during my time at Allen Media, and the work that we did together with our other colleagues on that is something I'll definitely remember for a long time.
Yeah, really great stuff, Shawn. So thank you for your leadership, sir.
Well, I don't know exactly where we're going with our next show because we have not figured out who our next guest is yet. So I think that this is an opportunity. You know, one thing I want to do, and I was listening to, so this is a 2022 resolution. I am going to find out a way, and I think I have it. I just need to talk to you about it, to get ideas from our listeners for guests that they want to hear. And so I've got a couple of ideas on that. So my resolution, I resolve to you, Ryan Trimble, and our listeners, that we will have a way for people to send in their recommendations of guests that we should have on the show. And I will have that no later than Jan 31 of 2022.
Well, when you put up the Twitter poll, I will participate, and then I will tweet some fun names. Maybe we should do, who do you want to be on the next guest on Deconstructing Dallas? Wrong answers only.
Yes, we'll take that under advisement.
Yes. I would be remiss if I didn't say, Shawn, I'm very excited for the Mighty Mustangs. They're playing in the Fenway Bowl.
When is that?
December 29th. Isn't that crazy?
I saw something on Twitter where they were painting the end zones, I believe.
They did. I probably retweeted.
Yeah, most likely I saw that retweeted from you.
You're welcome.
So I'm ready for the Ponies, ready for the Aggies, who, according to many observers, had the number one recruiting class in college football. Man, Jimbo, no wonder he's staying in College Station. He knew some good stuff was happening. I would love, can't speak for everyone, to see that off-field success turn to on-field success as well. But you know what? I think everybody knows that's fair. I don't think
that's right. And I think we'd be remiss in being a Dallas-based show and not congratulating the Sock Bears on their state title.
South Oak Cliff and Coach Jason Todd made history this past weekend. We were at the game, Dominique and I, and got to see, I mean, man, when we got there, first off, it was packed. I think I heard that someone from UIL said they couldn't remember opening the third level for the first game on a Saturday before. So I'm sure the numbers are going to show. But by the time we got in the building, Sock was ahead 14-0. By the time we got hamburgers, hot dogs, it was tied. I mean, it looked like Liberty Hill. And while we were there, the whole game, Liberty Hill threw one pass. I mean, it was like old school, wing tee offense, smash mouth football, 3 yards in the cottage dust, literally. And, man, I have to give it to Coach Todd and his staff and those kids, man. They found a way to keep those guys from getting 10 yards. I mean, I don't know how they did it, but they kept them out of the end zone in the whole second half, which I didn't think I wasn't sure that they could do. And just, man, a fourth down where they threw a pass with like a minute and something left. I mean, just great coaching. Those kids are well coached, and excited for them and the parade that's going to be going down tomorrow.
So great. So exciting. So congratulations, South Oak Cliff. Thanks for representing the city.
Well, that is a wrap on 2021 for Deconstructing Dallas. We want to thank our listeners. We want to thank you for continuing to hang with us because, we would not be on a fifth year, heading into a fifth year, if it wasn't for folks who listen, who let us know, who send us tweets, send us texts and all that good stuff. And so we want to thank you, our listeners. We want to thank our bosses at Allen Media, Mary Woodleaf and Jennifer Pascal. Thank our entire Allen Media team, including Samaji Best, who does a lot of the behind the scenes work to make sure we're ready to go on this podcast. Headed into 2022, we want to make it easier for our listeners to share ideas, to let us know who you think should be on the podcast. So stay tuned for that. But until then, please leave us 5 stars on Apple Podcast, on Stitcher, on SoundCloud, however you listen to this podcast, and make sure you share it with your friends. So to wrap up 2021 for Ryan Trimble, this is Shawn Williams, Deconstructing Dallas. Adios.